I found out my husband was sleeping with my niece behind my back, and my niece was encouraging it because she was jealous of my perfect life. Posted by you/adventurous Mark 605. This is my brother's daughter, and she is 23. For more than a year, I have felt that she is looking at my husband, 40M, way too much, but my mind couldn't accept it, and I told myself I was being irrational. I know she admires him, she is very vocal about it. I didn't do anything because I never noticed anything suspicious on his side. To be frank, my brother is a loser and a poor excuse for a father. He drinks, gambles, and is usually unemployed. My husband frequently collects him from the hospital and pays for the medication he needs for his liver. Many times, when my niece was still a child, I took care of her, cooked for her, and got her ready for school. Her mother left with someone else and abandoned her with her father. My husband is the complete opposite of my brother. He takes care of his appearance, has a successful business with 45 employees. She looks up to him and has said that she learned a lot from him about how a business works. The line was truly crossed when, one day, she insisted on ironing his suit. He always wears suits and ties, and she wanted to prepare one for him. I was very busy with my 7-year-old daughter, who was having a hard time adjusting to her new school, so I let it pass. It was a very stressful period for me, and she helped. I told her I would just order food every day, but she insisted on being useful, or so she said. She cooked what he liked to eat, never asking what we wanted, only what he wanted. And 3 days ago, I found out he slept with her while I was away on a business trip. I had left my daughter with them at the house, but he took her to my mother's. I actually received an anonymous text, which turned out to be from a friend of hers. I hoped it was a stupid joke. But when I told him I knew he had slept with her, he started apologizing and explaining that it happened just once, that they had wine and it happened. I don't know what to do now. Edit. Another reason why I don't think he groomed her is that this isn't the first time she's slept with a married man. She did the same thing last year. I had a talk with her back then, and she was very proud of what she had done. She wasn't looking for love, she just liked the idea of sleeping with a man in power. That man also had a high social status and was in the military. It's her thing, she sees men like that as superior and worthy. She's never given a guy her age a chance and looks down on them. She's not like a lot of modern young women who want to be independent and strong. She knows she's beautiful and plays the beauty card. She is extremely feminine, to the point where even her voice is always soft and low, like she wants to appear submissive and like a good girl. She never went clubbing, for example, because she believes good girls don't do that. She also doesn't want a driver's license because she feels it's masculine to drive a car. Update 1 day later. I have an update. My mother tried to talk to Anastasia, my niece, again, and Anastasia told her that she hates me and has hated me for years. She said that I have everything and didn't have to work for it, while she was abandoned by her mother, pitied, and even mocked at school, because of her drunk, loser father. Meanwhile, I had a perfect life, a perfect career, and a perfect husband. She said I was envied and admired while she was shamed and pitied. I also had to return home because it could affect me in court if I don't allow my husband to see his daughter. When I got back, I found a mess in my bedroom. My husband was cleaning it up with my mother. Anastasia had thrown all my things out of the closet and tried to put hers there. My mother said my husband had to grab her hands and restrain her because she was acting crazy. She hit him, and eventually, he hit her back to stop her from scratching and kicking my mother, which has been confirmed, she did attack her. My husband called a doctor to give her something to calm her down, and it worked. He's begging me to forgive him. He was always the arrogant, confident man, constantly being asked for favors by people around him. I've never seen him so devastated. My mother cried and told me this wasn't the first time Anastasia attacked her when angry, but she never reported it because she felt the girl had already suffered enough, and having something like that on her record might hurt her future even more. Meanwhile, my brother continues to be a total piece of, well, you know. He even asked my husband if he would give him more money because of what happened. It almost feels like he's pushing her toward being a prostitute. Maybe that's too extreme, but it definitely seems to be heading that way. I just want to stop talking to all of them, every single one. Second update 2 days later. I had a talk with my husband, and he said he didn't realize she was that unstable. Great, so you did it with her because you thought she was stable? How does that make things any better? She still wants him. I've already blocked her number, but she texted me from another one, which I also blocked, saying that we all call her crazy, but it's the crazy ones who make the bedroom interesting, and he'll come back for more. I can't believe this is my niece. She even said she deserves him more than I do, that I don't deserve a man like him, and that I should be with someone like her father. My mother is in a sensitive situation now. She said the girl was hysterical with both her and my husband. Neither of them wanted to call the police because that would lead to too many questions about what happened between them. My husband doesn't want his associates to find out, and my mother, well, she's still her granddaughter and didn't want to cause her more problems. This is why, in the end, my husband slapped her hard enough that it knocked her to the floor. But it calmed her down because she got scared and covered her face in fear. He literally told her that if she didn't leave the house, he would slap her again. It seems that only physical force, or rather, the threat of being beaten, was what finally made her back off. This is according to my mother. My brother is drinking like none of this matters to him. He even asked my husband if he could give him more money because of what happened. And it wasn't in a because of what you've done way, more like because you got to sleep with my daughter. It's almost as if he feels that his daughter sleeping with my husband was some kind of twisted way to either get under his skin or show gratitude. No one has confirmed this to me, but these are the vibes I'm getting from him. I've even speculated whether my brother knew what she was up to. You suspected my mother, but I doubt she knew. She's a broken woman because of how worthless her son has turned out to be, but she's always been very open with me about everything. Up about talking to her husband. While I was at the hotel, I talked to him on the phone and asked for his version of events. I told him that I'm willing to believe they only had sex once, but I'm not naive enough to believe there was nothing before that. After much difficulty, he finally admitted, and showed me texts from her to support it, that she had spent the night in our house while I was away. This happened 2 months ago. She texted him saying that her father had thrown her out of the house after an argument, during which he had pushed her into a wall. That's why she decided to move out and pay rent on her own. It was the middle of the night when she texted, asking if she could stay at our house. I read the text messages, all the screenshots were proof. He picked her up, and although we have 3 empty rooms and he claims she slept in one of them, this part can't be proven, he swore that nothing happened. They drank in the kitchen until 4 a.m., talking about her father, and she told him she wished her father were more like him. He said he didn't think much of it at the time, took it as an appreciative comment, and, after finishing his drink, went to sleep. Up on divorcing her husband. Some people have accused me of being the worst in this situation, saying that instead of protecting her from him when she was a teen, I let him eye her. Where did they even get that from? I will not forgive him, and I will not divorce him, but just let me feel what I feel without being called unhinged for it. Yes, his infidelity isn't my biggest concern right now, even though it started with that. I kept this title for the update because that's where it began. What hurts more is the fact that the girl I loved so much not only wanted my husband but also hates me, and I never even suspected it. She hates me from the bottom of her heart. She hates my daughter, who adores her. I thought my niece adored her too. They spent so much time together, with my niece playing with her for hours. And now I found out she's disgusted by me. You have no idea how horrible and shocking that is. What hurts even more is knowing my mother hid from me how unstable she is and what she's been saying about me. His infidelity and betrayal hurt, but you didn't ask what our relationship was like, how close we were, or how much he meant to me. But she meant more to me than he did. After that first cheating episode, a big part of my love for him died. We didn't divorce, we stayed together for the child. I know it's not the best idea, but it worked for us, somehow. I still loved him, but not as much, because he had hurt me. But I loved my niece more than him. The fact that she slept with him is horrible, but hearing what she truly feels about me is even worse. That's what hurts the most.